Takes a minute. There we are. Welcome to the Bot Signal. I am, as always, RJ Redden, bringing you news, views, and other things about technology in general and chatbots specifically. I want to invite you to meet a friend right now. Okay.
Hello.
This is Matthew McGregor. Matthew is a brilliant app specialist. And I was attending a webinar a couple weeks ago. Our friends, you and my friend Stacy were putting it on, friend of the show. And it intrigued me very, very much because Matthew here, well, I'll let him introduce himself and then I'll talk about how we met.
Sure. So my name is Matthew McGregor, and I'm a good friend of RJ's as well as Stacy. And what I do and what I'm creating is a software that allows anyone to build their own mobile app, almost like it's on like ClickFunnels or Kartra or something, where it's a drag and drop style builder, so that rather than spending, $50,000 on a mobile app, entrepreneurs are actually able to get into the mobile app world without investing that crazy amount. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. And I'm excited to share why, mobile apps are really the thing that's going to be changing how marketing is done over the next couple of years.
I'm excited to hear that as well, because at first, when I kind of heard about what you were doing, I was like, well, I mean, apps that, it's like if you hop up the first page of the App Store, 90% games. And I'm into gamification and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
I was originally just drawn in there, but then as you started explaining kind of where you're coming from with this and some of the reasons why you've made a move to this, I really became intrigued. Can you talk about what was the kicker? What motivated you to think about, let's start encouraging people and let's bring the price down for people who want their own mobile app? Can you talk about that a little?
I'll share how I kind of got started with all of this a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, I actually had a previous business. It's called the Client Conversion Formula. Actually, it's still going very strong. Basically, this business, I help entrepreneurs who are kind of struggling or maybe just starting to take their business online. So I help them set up all their funnels. I help them set up all their website, their members area, their email follow-up sequences, all that kind of stuff. I both set it up and I consult on it. So lots of people say, I don't know how to do all this kind of stuff. So they just get me to do it. And while I was running that business for a good amount of time, the last 3-4 years, and obviously having some success in it, there was always a big main problem or a main theme that was coming up for every single one of my clients. Not some of my clients, all my clients. And that is, if I can build them a fantastic conversion process where they send people through and they get, when people go through it, they make money. If I can do that consistently, then all they need to fill the funnel is traffic. And the problem is that with what's currently out there with Facebook and email used to be really, really, really great. When you posted something out on, let's say, for example, let's choose email first. When you sent out an email back in the day, you'd get like a 30, 40, 50% open rate. Like it was the most amazing thing. And this is why the email marketers that had like 100,000 mailing lists, like that was worth $10 million or more, right? Whereas now it's obviously changed because everyone started doing email marketing, and now we have 10 billion emails in our email account. Similar thing with like Facebook as well. Facebook, Instagram especially used to be very, very, very great, because when you put something out, everyone would see your stuff, and it came out in a kind of chronological order of whoever posted it first. You're going to see their stuff right at the very top, but things have obviously changed, and changed more and more and more and more. And now generally less than 1% of your audience ever sees your stuff, which is a problem. And so this is when I started looking at mobile apps, because with the world of mobile apps, people are so much more drawn to download a mobile app over anything else kind of out there. One thing that you can think of is, if you think of any sort of either softwares you use or services you use, whether that is, I'll just name a few, your bank, Dropbox, Google Drive, maybe you have a merchant account if you run a business like Stripe or PayPal or something. What else do I use on my phone on a daily basis? Obviously Facebook Messenger, I use Trello, Slack, all these sorts of apps I use on a daily basis. And for all the other, companies as well, I don't ever think of myself nowadays going to a website to find information. All the information I need is already on my phone in an app that I can just click on, that's right there, sitting on my home screen with easy accessibility. And this is why I really started getting into the world of mobile apps, RJ. It wasn't originally about the money. The money's fantastic in that, you don't want to spend $50,000 on a mobile app. And in addition to that, it was really the improved performance, the improved accessibility, and that people so much more want to be part of a mobile app and downloading it and being part of the community in that sense.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And what kind of triggered me to really start listening up is in a mobile app, that's your own little immersive world.
Yes.
You can decide who sees what. You can decide what updates are going out. You can decide what's appropriate for your community, what they want to see. We have been we've been very taken with a lot of these different platforms that a lot of people are on already. We've forgotten, sort of, we talk about this on the show a lot, that really having everyone on someone else's platform means you're building your house on rented land, and you need to follow their rules and do whatever they say, or else you're going to get, and then what happens to your business? I mean, like, probably 15 years ago. Okay, we're going to take you back in time, Matthew. Okay. Yes, darling. And we have got about 15 years ago, I worked in a furniture company. I did design work for the furniture company. And they said that the worst thing that could ever happen to your business is a fire. And all of your files are gone, and all of your customer records are gone, and everything's gone. And so we sold, part of what we sold was fireproof cabinets. And so they went over the whole staff with us and all this stuff. Okay. A fire today in my office, I would have to replace my bongos. Okay. But all of that customer data, I do have them, they're over there in the corner. A fire today wouldn't matter nearly as much to a lot of entrepreneurs, because our records, our people, are all held electronically. Yeah. But the thing is, we think of that as our crowd on Facebook or the crowd we're reaching on email. We think of it that way. Those things can still be taken from us.
Yes.
However, if they're in our own space, if they're in our own mobile app, those things cannot be taken from us. So it's a real threat out there that a lot of people, I don't think, are thinking about. Is, Facebook changes its rules tomorrow, you could be out of business. it's as devastating as a fire. So
Yes.
I was really intrigued by you talking about bring that stuff back to your own real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And to comment on that, it's what RJ is saying is not uh, what RJ is saying is not to actually scare you, but more to inform you that Facebook actually does update things very, very, very often. It's not like, oh no, Facebook's going to update something. Oh no, they actually do. You may know if you're kind of part of this space with Facebook Messenger marketing. They removed something very recently called the 1-day rule, which everybody's freaking out about because it makes marketing literally a million times harder. And they're making this new update again come August time. I haven't looked into it too much, but they're always making these updates that change the game for marketers. And it means you have to go back and rework your funnel and do all the things. And it's like, oh my goodness, why are we even doing this in the first place?
Why are we doing this? Because here's the thing. I'm not spending that time serving my clients. I am spending that time crafting Facebook's world for them.
That's correct.
Oh, listen, I can, no. At some point, I've got to put my foot down, and I have. I mean, I have moved my chatbots. I've moved the majority of it off of Facebook entirely.
Yes.
We are, and I moved my show. I mean, I've got. I told you right before we came on, we're broadcasting in 5 places. 2 of those places are Facebook. I've got 1 page and 1 group we're broadcasting into, but I've also got a YouTube channel, a LinkedIn, and a Twitch. And when I made that move, Matthew, from broadcasting on Facebook all the time to let's have the same show. Let's make the show be about the show and broadcast on many places. It was an eye opener for me as to how much I had crafted my show around what Facebook thinks it needs to see. You know what I'm saying? Like I moved it. It was like I moved into another world where my show can be whatever it wants. If it's shut down on Facebook, we'll go somewhere else.
Exactly.
God. So that point of view was so interesting to me. I mean, I just really felt like you really have your eye on what's happening out there. And yeah, I didn't say, those things to be, let's all get paranoid about what Facebook is doing.
Yeah.
I say those things because Facebook's going to be around. It's not shutting down anytime soon. But I get to now think of it in terms of not Facebook is the trunk of the tree, and I'm going to make everything flow through that and make sure that everything is within the bounds of that. Now, you know what? There are a lot of places and a lot of people that need to hear these types of messages. And I get to craft my message to what I think that my clients want to hear. And it's so much more of a freedom. Have you experienced that yourself? I mean, what is your comment? What do you think?
On this whole Facebook and bringing other people away from Facebook. Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that I do know, because I do this with clients, is that when people are on Facebook, obviously they're not as visible as they used to be, especially on Facebook pages. It's not ideal. But anyway, that's why people often find themselves either boosting posts or running ads. And this is something that I do teach my clients in the client conversion formula business, how to, I help them run ads and this sort of thing. So people often find themselves actually then paying Facebook instead of getting it for free for clients. And while Facebook can certainly be a good tool in terms of running ads, you have to have somewhere for those people to go. Usually that's on the mailing list. Why? Because if you get them on your mailing list, theoretically, you can engage with them for free. Or if you get them on your bot, and in that sort of world and into your community, you can engage with them for free. This, as we've been talking about, is not always true. Because they as well with email, they might be on your email software. They might be getting your emails, but they're being sent to spam and they never see them. So this is why we have to look at other options. Is it us sending them over to some kind of bot that captures their information and engages them? Is it an app? And actually, RJ and I have been talking about how when you combine the power of the mobile app and the bot into the same system, this is really where the magic happens. RJ's actually so RJ is getting her own app. RJ, can you tell us a little bit on why you're so excited to merge these two kind of worlds?
I'm so excited because, my friends, I've always wanted my own mobile app. I mean, come on, I am a geek. We always want these things, but cost prohibitive to say the freaking least. And what is going to this has been my issue, the cost, but also what's going to make people download that? How do I, once it's created, because this is a problem with websites. We create one, or we have one created, we're done. That's it, baby. We are not doing anything to that thing. Most of the time it's complicated, or we have to hire somebody for $1 billion or something. Right. So, but with a mobile app, the magic of it is that it does change, that it can change.
Exactly.
Here's what I thought of just immediately when you were talking during the webinar was, what if we could plant the bot inside that app? What if that bot can send notifications? What if we could combine the coolness of what Matthew has created, which I believe you can have community stuff on there. And that's a beautiful thing in its own, because here's the deal. The Facebook groups and stuff, not super engaging because Facebook has made them that way. Right?
Yeah.
So, but if everybody is on the app, and because right now what I do very, very often, and people are looking for a way to get off Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's going to shut down this podcast. I am sure he's in his office right now going, God, that goggles girl. Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The thing is, right now, my bots very often, like during a challenge or something like that, will send the people at the end of the day. They will send the people, hey, you've got your homework for the challenge done today. Go post it in the Facebook group. Yeah. That is a context change. Because, of course, okay, now I've got to jump over here and do this. Anytime you have a context change in the digital age, you lose people. So what if it's all in the same darn place?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
It's what we're looking for. We're looking for ease of use. We're looking for, let's not send everyone all over the internet. Let's send them into our warm and loving arms one time, and let them decide, instead of letting all of these other entities decide if they're going to stay or not.
Exactly.
How much is that going to impact your business? So, I mean, I met Matt and it was over. It was like, okay, it's time. It's time for the app. It's time to have an immersive world. I mean, it's like what I build in my bots, but I can't build a community in my bots. So there is this extra added coolness. And could you talk about, because I remember you were saying that it really is a cool experience to have your stuff on the App Store. So can you talk about that a little bit?
In terms of credibility, So a lot of entrepreneurs, especially if you're not already making well into the multiple six figures as of yet, do struggle with getting seen, getting heard, getting booked, whether that's on stages, webinars, podcasts, joint ventures, all the things. Why? Not What I found actually is not because of list size. For a long time, I didn't have a very big list. What really made the difference for me is actually expert sort of status. And how you do that, there's a couple of great ways to do that. For a very long time, the number two thing, the two best things to get expert status are, number one, being an author, and then number two, doing public speaking semi-regularly. And the problem with that is most people don't have time to sit down and write a book. And then lots of people aren't able to actually even get booked on those stages because they're not seen as the expert quite yet. Which brings us to an app is actually been moved up to the number one slot as a best establisher for expertise. Because when you say, like, I have an app, like when you say I have an app, whether that's to an event host who wants to put you on their stage, a joint venture partner, whether that's even to a client or a prospect, whoever it is you're saying that to, they're going to see you as the authority. Why? Because most people are never going to have an app, and that makes you stand out and makes you be seen as this person is serious about growing their business.
Yeah. It's a credibility factor. And it's something that it's been so out of reach for so long. I mean, they're, trying to hire an app builder is so difficult. And this thing, this what Matthew's building right now is a place where you can create your own. You can, he talked about the drag and drop. Can you tell me what motivated you to not just have, app building as a service, but more of something that people on their own can create? What motivated you to create it that way?
The main thing is because, well, there's kind of two parts to this, honestly, RJ. The first part is that if we delivered it as an app creation service, even if we had the tool behind it and we didn't release that tool to the public, like in order to get our costs down, essentially, we would never be able to reach a large kind of market, because we'd be moving too slow. And so what I want is for everybody to be able to have their own mobile app and to really have mobile apps change the way mobile marketing is done. I think desktop marketing is as good as it is right now. Maybe there's a couple little things that'll come down along the line, but really mobile marketing is where people are on their devices, these devices, all day, every day, and it's so important that we are getting their attention in the best way possible. And so I want this is my mission, RJ, is to have this be a global thing. And that's where kind of piece two comes into play, which is kind of linked to that, is that after we establish a good number of the important kind of features into the app platform, in addition to basically adding in the not only phase one, which obviously is coming out very soon, but an array of additional little tweaks. We are looking at having sort of a reseller kind of package for people like me in my previous business to actually build apps for people. So what that looks like is, well, for myself with my client conversion formula business, my job quite literally would not be possible. Well, I guess it'd be possible, would not be as it was without ClickFunnels. So what I did with ClickFunnels was I went to ClickFunnels and I said, this is an opportunity. I'm going to go build funnels and stuff for all these other people. And so that's what I'm envisioning, is to have people be able to do it themselves, and also start bringing in people who are affiliates or partners who also build apps as well. If people are looking for that. Yeah.
Cool.
And I guess that's kind of what we're currently offering right now with kind of the done for you-esque package and this sort of stuff that I know you got.
Well, yeah, and the reason that excites me so much is that I think that we have been, the pendulum always swings in marketing, right? There's always, there's action and there's reaction and all of that, but I think we've been so far over into, let's plant a flag on somebody else's real estate and let's make our base of operations there. Let's swing back over, because here's the thing. Here's what I've found with people in their marketing is, when you are planting the flag on someone else's real estate, we've talked about having to follow their rules. You and I don't like that. Most entrepreneurs don't like following rules. That's why we're not punching a time clock, everyone. So that we've talked about that, but there's also this aspect of, in order to be heard above the chorus of other people that are fighting for attention, most of the time people will take their personality or their brand and they'll dumb it down. They'll try to sound like the people who are already successful on that platform in order to get more people in. But it's the opposite of what really draws great people to you. And that has been my frustration for so long, because it's like, and I did it too. When I was first in business, I absolutely sent out emails that everybody else sent out. I was a carbon copy of everybody else. I did all of these things. I made bupkis, okay? It was sad, all right? But it's what everybody was doing. So, well, you got to follow the successful people, right?
Sure.
So here's the thing, with your own app, as with the bots, your personality. The magnet is not how everybody else is saying what they're saying. The magnet is you. The magnet is, how closely well-tuned are you to your client's problems, and how well can you state how you can solve those problems? It becomes what we all learned in business in the beginning. And when you move to your own real estate, you don't have to worry about what Gary Vee is a great guy, but you don't have to worry about what he's doing right now. All you have to worry about is, what pain points are you solving? How are you solving that? How well can you say that? That's all you have to worry about. And the right people come. And that has been true. I mean, just I'm totally getting off into a little tangent here.
No,
but
I love it.
Ever since I decided to just be myself, talk about what I talk about, be me, and really focus on the pain, the how do I solve it, and the message, my business has skyrocketed. It's no joke. My business grew 325% last year. That's what my accountant told me. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, everyone, it's time. It's time to plant the flag on your own soil again. And an app is an excellent way to make that happen. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, RJ. 100%. I don't have anything to add to that.
Okay. All right. Very good, sir. Well, so one of the things that Matt and I have decided to do together is we're gonna do a webinar, and we'd like to invite everybody because I basically have taken over the mic in this situation, and I really want everyone to be able to see kind of some all the stuff that Matt was talking about where I met him on the very same type of deal. So I'm going to throw a
Yeah.
link in the comments, everybody, because uh, I think that this is the future, and I want everybody to be tuned in. I want people to see the genius of what Matt's created, because we could really have it. We could really have it all. We can have that world that is just us, that people tune into because they want to know what's going on with us, not because they've gotten 87 emails and they just want them to stop, not because they've gotten a rain of Facebook posts or a rain of spam somewhere in some inbox. No, we want people to be drawn to us because we solve their problems and we have a personality that they're attracted to. Very good, darling. So that's our deal. What can you tell us a little bit about what the webinar entails, Matt?
Absolutely. So, we are going to be covering 3 key things in the webinar. The first is actually why we'll be talking a little bit more in depth, even more than we did today, on why mobile apps kind of in the first place, like why even this world, and what they can kind of do. The second thing that we're going to be talking about, which is very, very important, is actually how you can use mobile apps as a marketing tool, which we talked about a very small amount today, but really mobile apps are a very, very powerful tool for actually sending out notifications and drawing people in to download them. I'll give a quick example from something from the webinar. One quick thing we'll be talking about is with mobile apps, they don't have to actually give up their name or email in order to download a mobile app. And this makes downloading mobile apps so much easier than actually getting an email subscriber. In fact, it's about 10 times easier. So the effort and energy it takes to get a mobile app download is about 10 times less than getting an email subscriber. And that's just one of the things that we're going to be talking about on the webinar as to how you can use, and then we'll talk about how to leverage that. How do you leverage that and use that to your advantage if or when you choose to get your own mobile app. And then the third thing we'll talk about is actually how to monetize your mobile app and how to get those downloads. So like when you have it, not only how can you use the tool and broadcast the notifications and do all the things, but how do you actually make money and sell stuff? How do you sell stuff from the mobile app? Because that's ultimately what we want to do. We don't want to have some there's other mobile app builders and things out there that they say, oh, you can have your own mobile app, but it's not a marketing tool. It doesn't make you money. So we'll talk about how do you make money using this platform. And we'll show you all the little things of that. So definitely click that link that RJ posted in the comments to make sure you register now, because that's going to be something that's very, very important to your business.
Very important going forward, my friends. Let us pick our own ground. Let us draw people to it, and let us do it in a way that is smart, efficient, and makes people happy. So, my friends, that's about the end for today. Do come and see us next week, March 19th, when this training is going on, because you will learn a lot. You will love Matthew, as I do, and it's going to be a great time. Please do join us. And that's about all from me, my friends. So We will see you in a bot.